Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the SA Lube F4 Cup Round 4, Season 3, the final round of the championship. And we are here at the Nurburgring Stricker. I've got to say, really looking forward to this race. It's going to be a monumental one for drivers and see who's going to be able to claw their way to victory in this back-to-back monstrous run. Just trying to pull up the live timing to get it all working for everyone. But a big welcome to all of the drivers, all the spectators. Welcome to the SA Lube F4, and good to see you all. And looks like a live timing getting a little bit of an issue on that change, so we're just going to quickly go to starting soon and come back. Give me 2 seconds. All right. Seems like it wants to shout and argue with me. Oh, there we go. It only took a little bit of elbow grease to get it going. Maybe I need to get all lubed up with SA Lube, our biggest distributor for Castrol products out in South Africa. Welcome, everybody. My name is Stephen Koenig, and welcome to the show. Glad to have you guys here. We got a prize pool of 12,000 Rand that will be given to our drivers, and we are really looking forward to it. Let's take a look at the points heading into the run. And first place in our pros is Troy Dolenchik, followed by Yuri Swart, Johan Fourie in third place, 179 points there. Ryan Otten's on 172, so keep an eye on that. Johan may be usurped by Ryan Ottens, much like Yuri Swart has a chance to get to the top of the order against Troy Dolenchik. We have got Nico Killerman in fifth, followed by Luke Lucchesi, Jamie Rees, Willem Buerter, Jason Coetzee, Alexander Milson, Noah Hendricks, Artie Nachel, Sean Webber, Peter Hubert, and Charles Gildenace rounding out our field for our pros. Taking a look at our Pro-Ams, because that's also a championship that's getting exciting. And we're looking forward to seeing how it's going to work out for them. So, Timothy Stanton out in first place, 278 points. Monstrous lead over the rest of the field. But this is where it gets interesting. Fanny Gravestein on 212 points. Doug Herber, who is on 210. But Doug Herber is out of the race, so he will not be scoring any points for this race. And that means that there's up for grabs for third place for the rest of our drivers. Fourth place, Peter van der Spey, followed by Cameron de Bastos, Van den Kersop, Pierre Cousin, along with Herman Lazarus, Jeff Hancock, Jaco Krobler, Vasil Vermaat, Brandon Robert, and Marius Rez, rounding out our field here tonight for the SA Lube F4 Championship, the final round of the championship. Let's head over to our qualifying, though, because I'm sure you're wanting to see all the action. So, taking a look through the order, Troy Dolenchik putting in a quick lap time, 1:58.041. He's been working close with the rest of his compares, like Yuri Swart, currently in second place, sporting the Red Bull livery. And then Johan Fourie in third place, trying to push himself out a little bit more and break down the gap in between them. So this is going to be a monumental fight. Alexander Milson currently in fourth place, followed by Luke Lucchesi, Ryan Ottens, Timothy Stanton up at the top of the order, along with Jeff Hancock in second place, carrying the name for the likes of our drivers of Team Tryhard. Then Artie Nachel also pushing as hard as he can to move up through the order. Fanny Gravestein in 10th, Nico Killerman in 11th, Jaco Krobler currently in 12th, followed by 13th place Jason Coetzee. And a couple of drivers still need to get a time in. Mario Rest, Noah Hendricks, Willem Buerter, Dino Sturman, welcome to him as well. Cameron de Bastos, Brandon Roberts, Sean Webber, Rolof Tolman, along with Herman Lazarus, and Vasil Vermaat, all the way out from the Ukraine, coming and joining us. So we got a couple of different drivers from across the globe joining us here for the final round of the SA Lube F4 Championship. And I am pleased to announce we do have a couple of cameras that are now hidden around the houses of our drivers. So, kicking it off, we do have two drivers that do have their cameras on, and we're going to show them off on screen. Wrong button, Steve. Use your big brain. We got Jeff Hancock and Cameron DeBastos that are currently having cameras hidden in their house. A big thank you to Tim on that, and Tim going and really putting an exciting lap to do that. Jeff Hancock's, this is the first time we've shown it on camera, but he is racing with 2 broken fingers. I just want to point that out. He has got 2 broken fingers on his right hand that doesn't allow him to get through the gearing. So he's actually having to use his ring finger and his pinky to swap through the gears to ensure that he'll be able to do it. So bear that in mind for him. So, a couple of people out in the grandstand. Hansi Myberg coming all the way from the Assetto Corsa Competizione side saying, how's it? Good to have you here. We have got Sean Mayer and Sean Kirby-Smith. It's sad to see the end of the season, but it's exciting racing. Fully agree with that. But there is plenty more to come. So keep an eye out on the RaceFace.Pro social media and on SA Lube. It's not over yet. And we do have in the competition down in the description. Go and click on it. It's with the SA Lube to be part of the amazing efforts that you can win 300 Rand this week. And we will be having our final prize draw by the end of this week, where you as a viewer can win 2,000 Rand cash given to you by SA Lube, being the first of the RaceFace.Pro giveaways, cash giveaways to viewers. So bear that in mind. You want to keep an eye on it. You want to be part of it. And it's always exciting to see it. So Troy Dolanchik out at the top with a 158. As we cut down to Roloff Tilleman, he's out in the McLaren colours. He's down in likes of 17th. He's trying to improve his lap times, get a little bit quicker, try and get into the fight with all the drivers. And good to see him having a bit of fun out there. Willem Buerta also driver keeping a close eye. Got some really exciting times. Third place though, Alexander Milskin getting very, very close with his lap times, setting a 158.4. And Alexander been trying to improve. The Racing Lab driver hoping to make an impact here tonight, getting ahead of Johan Ferrari. That's just ahead of him. Dino Sermon out in the front, sporting the Ferrari colours. Good to see it. And hopefully doesn't have the luck of the Ferraris, because that is always a bit of a rough one. Jason could see a little bit further down in 6th place, Luke Lucchesi in 7th, trying to improve his. So we have got drivers trying to get a little bit better, a little bit quicker, improve their times in this monumental effort. Timothy Stanton down in 8th place. First of our Pro-Ams with Jeff Hancock and Mario Torres further down the order. Cameron Bastos not able to get in a time as yet, and he has an opportunity to get into 3rd place. So he's going to have to push it himself a little bit harder to close down the distance. Ryan Otten's going and fighting it out, followed by Willem Buerta and Sean Webber dying in 10th and 11th place respectively. 5 minutes left on the clock for their qualifying. All the drivers still trying to get times in. 3 drivers battling. Cameron DeBastos, Herman Lazarus and Vasil Famat still trying to get their times in and push themselves a little bit harder. And a big shout out to the Autosport of Ukraine from the world of South Africa, and also RaceFace.Pro. They have just completed their F4 Championship and their GT3 Championship. So a big well done to the Autosport of Ukraine on completing those championships. And it's an honor to have you guys here racing with us as well. So really good to see, and I know they are supporting their drivers in this monumental effort to improve their running. Then you've got Yuri Piswat now up into 1st place, ahead of Troy Dolanchik. Can Troy Dolanchik retaliate? He only needs to knock off a bit of time, 0.055. Oh, but getting caught out behind a couple of back markers like Johan Ferrari, and that looks to be Artie Nachel, costing him a bit of time. Will he be able to pull it back though? The circuit is very, very tricky at the best of times, and with the temperature being a little bit lower than planned, drivers will have to try and figure out what's going to work for them, how they're able to claw back some time. And as you can see, with a little bit of headwind and also track temperature being on 20 degrees, the tires will be a little bit chilly to start off with. But at the moment, you can see small inputs being used to try and get the car to balance out. A little bit of counter steering as well from the likes of Troy Dolanchik, as he hopes to improve his lap time. as we jump on board the roll bar. Getting a little bit out of shape. Feathering the throttle. Trying to get some momentum, but bottoming the car out. And having to really slam it through the gears. But a 1:57.7 is to beat by Yuri Swart. There we go. Well done. Tim, the cameraman, doing a bit of work behind the scenes to ensure it goes and gets working, along with Jim, keeping a very close eye on the action. Luke Lucchese moving out wide, allowing Yuri Swart to keep going. Sporting the Max Verstappen colours. Or maybe the Sergio Perez. Hopefully the Max Verstappen, not the Sergio Perez. Because it has come down to this. The championship, running order, everything on the line for our drivers to make an impact. And all is needing to be used, all the track needing to be used, all the skills that you have honed throughout it all needing to be used. Taking a look at what the prize pool is. First place will get 3,000 Rand. Second place and this is in our pro division. First place 3,000 Rand. Second place 2,000 Rand. Third place 1,500 Rand. Then we have got fourth place 1,000 Rand. Fifth place, 750. Sixth place, 500 Rand. Seventh, 250 Rand. That's for our pro division. For our pro-am, it's 1,000 Rand for first place. 800 Rand for second place. Third place is 600 Rand. 400 Rand for fourth place. And fifth place, 200 Rand. So our drivers have got so much on the line for them. And needing to push themselves that little bit more. Try and figure out what's going to work for them in this race. How are they going to battle it out with the championship points being so close between both divisions to make it work? Drivers trying to improve, and it looks like that couple have resided themselves to the end of their qualifying. Luke Lucchese, Jeff Hancock, Ryan Ottens, Artie Nachel, Noah Hendricks, all going and saying, right, that's us for our runs. Fonnie Gravenstein trying to improve his sectors, but you can see everyone having those drop-offs that is now starting to come into play. Drivers will have to think what's going to work for them and ensure that they get a little bit more pace underneath them. Anything can happen in the world of the SA Lube F4 Championship. Shout out to Etienne Swart. Yes, that is coming from Sean Kirby-Smith. Unfortunately, Etienne are not racing tonight, but was part of our Clio Cup that finished up last week and did really a good job out there. So good to see that guys are having a bit of fun, but the lap time's very, very close with our top 9 currently doing the 158 with only 2 cars able to begin into the 157s, everyone else into the 159, 2 minutes. But we are going down to the grid for our first heat of the evening. It's going to be Yuri Swart out in first place, along with Troy Donchik, Alexander Melskin, along with Jan Free, Jason Coetzee, Dino Sturman, Luke Lucchese, Willem Buerta, Jeff Hancock, Timothy Stanton, Ryan Ottens, and Mario Rez in 12th. 13th is Artie Nachel, followed by Noah Hendricks, Sean Webber, Brandon Roberts, along with Nico Killerman, Jakob Krobler, Cameron de Bastos, Fonnie Gravenstein, Rolof Tolman, along with Vasil Vermaat and Herman Lazarus, rounding out our field here tonight. And like said, we have got 2 different classes that will be battling it out this evening with our Pro and Pro-Am. Jan Free has got quite a bit on the line, but everyone ahead of him, Yuri Swart, Troy Dolanchik is the target for him. Jason Coetzee looking to put in a bit of an impact on it as well, as he is lying in 5th place. Dino Sturman has been out for a little bit of time, but returning to have a bit of fun before he crosses back to Europe. Luke Lucchese looking to get into the fight along with Willem Buerta. Jeff Hancock's getting ahead of all our Pro-Ams with Timothy Stanton lining up side by side. Championship fight going on there. Ryan Ottens a little bit further back of Alpha 1, followed by Mario Rez as we get ready to go green. All eyes will be on Yuri Swart heading into turn 1. Not gonna be an easy run for any of our drivers. And Sean Kirby just saying congrats Louis on the 2nd place in the Clio. Good to see. Lucas Sturman also going and putting in a bit of a chirp as well. Good to see Luca back. Gotta say, Always fun to have him in. Also races in the OKL karting. Been lapped by him quite a few times. So let's see what he can do. Now put back into a single-seater. Versokia also going in and saying shout out Mr. X coming into the grandstands. But ladies and gentlemen, we are getting ready to go green. Revving it up. Lights on. Lights off, and away we go. Yuri Piswat trying to get an early jump on Troy Dolanchik, but it looks like Troy getting a better time across the line. Moves himself into second place. Alexander stuck on the outside. Jan Fries, big send on the inside, trying to make it all work, but it is a battle out in the front. Oh, it does look like Luke Lucchese turned round, and down the order they go. Troy Dolanchik and Yuri Piswat trying to break away, but it looks like Alexander and Jan Fourie are going in a close battle. Dino Sturman now into the fight as well. Willem Buerta trying to catch up. Luke Lucchese a little bit further back, so it wasn't Luke Lucchese that got too badly caught out there. We'll try and find out. That might have been Jason Coetzee. But he has got Ryan Ottens immediately onto the back of him. Jeff Hancock's breaking out and getting 2 positions away from the Pro-Am field. He is onto the back of Ryan Ottens. Artie Knuckle and Sean Webber now onto the back of one another. Timothy Stanton going and relaxing back. But we got a 3-way fight. Noah Hendricks, Brandon Robert, and Cameron DeBastos trying to go and battle it out, with Noah Hendricks just getting ahead and fighting his way through. So some great action up and down through the field within our first lap. Side by side they go. And it does look like Troy Dolanchik trying to break away from Yuri Piswat. And the drivers needing to battle out. Timbo going and asking, custom overlay, or is this a iRacing leaderboard? Actually, this is a custom overlay. But we do have our pit wall currently up as well, so you can keep up with all the live timing as well. That's down in the description. Highly suggested, especially with the championship so close. Yuri Piswat getting bottled up through the chicanes. That allowed Alexander to get on the back of him. Jan Fourie goes for a dive on Dino Sturman. Dino stuck on the outside. Is going to have to try and maneuver his way around here and gets into a monstrous fight. Side by side they go. No backing down into turn 1, and Yuri also taking a big look. Alexander joining in, but Jan Fourie and Dino Sturman not giving each other any space. Side by side they go, with Dino Sturman managing just to stretch out the gap a little bit more as they fight their way through. So, out to the front, Troy Dolanchik, Yuri Piswat, and Alexander Milson now into the fray of things. But our battle going on, as it looks like Jeff Hancock has run into a bit of a problem. As we cut down to see what happened to Jeff Hancock's, as he ran into a bit of an issue. So did the car snap out? It did. Spun him round, and he's able to rejoin. Thankfully no damage, but had to wait for the entire field to come by. So he's not going to be the happiest camper there. And will have to claw his way back after dropping way down the order, down into 7th of class. So he needs to try and get the hurry up here and ensure that he can get going. So Jeff Hancock's, as we showing Cameron DeBastos for some odd reason. So I'm going to bring up Jeff Hancock's, and a bit of an interesting one that we are battling to bring him up. Driver that has been on a monstrous charge of late, trying to make up some time, clawing his way through the order. Now has to dig deep on this one to figure out what is going to work for him and how he can gain back up into first place. So out in front, we have still got the monstrous fight of Troy Dolanchik. And there is Jeff Hancock's camera, so at least we managed to get him back. But it is Troy Dolanchik out in front with Yuri Piswat down into second place, trying to figure out how he can go. Alexander down into 3rd, now trying to close down the distance. And the Racing Lab esports man that is running in his picture, looks like he is running off to second place, with Dino Sturman putting a fair amount of pressure onto the back of him. And it is going to be a monumental effort for the two of them. But it looks like Troy is starting to break away from Yuri Umpi-Swart. Alexander and Dino Sturman now getting into the fold of things. Luca going and keeping an eye on Dino Sturman as it stands. But all running line astern between them all. Lap times 1:58 being the consistent times. Troy Dolonchik, though, not pulling away from this little pack as we usually seen. And Alexander onto the back of Yuri Umpi-Swart is not going to make it an easy drive. Mimicking every move, trying to utilize as much of the toe as possible. Everyone knowing what's on the line for the SA Lube round for the final of the championship. Mario Rez, unfortunately, going and needing some serious work after his spin a little bit earlier on, which allowed Timothy Stanton back up into first place, Brandon Roberts into second, and Cameron the Bastos trying to close up on the distance as well. But it looks like Yuri Umpi-Swart has got onto the back of Troy Dolonchik, will be keeping a fair amount of pressure onto the back of him, trying to fight it out. No love lost between them. And Tate Bishop going and saying it's all or nothing between them. So this is going to be a proper run. Under braking, Troy and Yuri trying to do what they can. Alexander late on the brakes tried to improve, but unfortunately turn one getting a little bit into a concertina fight. Dino Sturman going and dropping way out of our top three. Has got Jan Fourie now putting pressure on him as well. So he's looking to try and gain a bit of valuable time here. Luke Lucchesi with Willem Buerta closing up on him. This will be a monumental run for them to gain some valuable track position down to our Pro-Am. So just give him a little bit of love. We've got Cameron de Bastos onto Brandon Robert as Vessel for Martz, unfortunately landing up with a bit of a problem. So he is dropping way down the order. But Cameron de Bastos trying to close up on Brandon Robert with a car that you surely cannot miss. That is for certain. So that is looking to try and close up on the championship points as it stands. Troy Dolonchik and Yuri Umpi-Swart closing onto the two of them. This is going to be a proper send for Yuri if he can get it onto the back of Troy Dolonchik. Has to be squeezed out to go and drop him down. Alexander coming once again back into the fray of things. So Troy Dolonchik needing to dig it all in. And we have got Jan Fourie who's going and losing a bit of time. And it also looks like his mate's going and trying to get him into talking contact between our top runners, Yuri Umpi-Swart and Troy Dolonchik, running into the contact. Now Yuri coming off the throttle, and Alexander capitalizes on it. He puts himself into second place, saying, well done. But now how much damage has been pulled onto the back of Troy Dolonchik's car? He's not getting the drive. Here comes Alexander diving up on the inside. Troy Dolonchik not able to go and defend just as yet. Tries to look for the inside line. And Dino Sturman right behind Jan Fourie, moving left and right, trying to figure out where he can go. Jan Fourie more than happy to go and push him to the fringes. Dino Sturman trying to defend to hold back Yuri Umpi-Swart, who's really onto the rear wing. Luke Lucchesi also coming back into the fray, along with Willem Buerta and Ryan Ottens as they look to do battle. So out in front, Alexander for the first time leading in this series, now looking to battle it out. Jan Fourie pulling away, has now got Yuri Umpi-Swart. Dino Sturman trying to pull him along. Luke Lucchesi getting back into the fight thing. Willem Buerta and Ryan Ottens also closing up the gap between one another. Proper running between them. Luke Lucchesi trying to look on the inside. Dino Sturman backs out of it. Yuri Umpi-Swart goes on the inside of Jan Fourie. Remember, these three are Jan Fourie and Yuri Umpi-Swart are fighting for second and third with the championship. So all points are on the line for them as they claw their way through. Jan Fourie not backing down from the fight. Dino Sturman not backing down from his fight behind. He's going to go lock, stock and barrel, keep Luke Lucchesi behind at all costs, and that allows Willem Buerta to close down the distance as well. But it looks like Alexander pulling away. Troy Dolonchik just not able to hold on, so possibly got a bit of damage to the car and having to just keep a very close eye on things of how it's all going to react as they make their way through the chicane. So our running order as it stands: Alexander Melchian out in first place, Troy Donchik in second place, followed by Jan Ferree, Yuri Umpi-Swart, who's going to try and close down into turn 1, and Dino Sturman just moving left and right. I think he's busy saying, don't worry about me, you guys are going to keep your own battle. We know where the championship stands here, as that is Rolof Tillman that comes out of the pits waiting for the train to come by. Jan Ferree stuck on the outside. Yuri Umpi-Swart up into third place. Dino Sturman dropping it down into fifth place now, trying to figure out how can he get past. Looks for the inside line, but unfortunately getting pushed to the fringes, but it sends it late braking all the way through. So Jan Ferree down into fifth. Luke Lucchesi into sixth. Willem Buerta, Ryan Ottens leading out our Pro-Am. So Timothy Stanton feeling the pressure from Sean Webb, who is one of our drivers. And I see that there is a problem with Jason Coetzee, who is unfortunately now dropping down the order as well. Artie Nachel currently lying in 11th place. Noah Hendricks down in 12th. Brandon Roberts, second of our Pro-Ams, has pulled away from Cameron de Bastos, who's lying third in our Pro-Ams, 14th overall, followed by Nico Killerman, Jaco Krobler, Fonnie Gravenstein, Vasil from Arts going and closing down the distance on him. Jeff Hancock's trying to do a bit of recovery work. Jason Coetzee out and retiring. Rolof Tillman still out on circuit. Mario Rez out on circuit. And Herman Lazarus. So Jason Coetzee looks like he has conceded for the likes of Heat 1. And unfortunately, that goes and throws him out of the points properly. I always say you need to try and get across the line. Try and score those valuable points. At least see the checkered flag. You don't know what happens in the race. Dino Sturman going blow for blow with Jan Ferree. Jan, big send on the inside. Luke Lucchesi getting into Constantina. And it looks like Willem Buerta nearly right up the gearbox of the likes of Luke Lucchesi. So Luke Lucchesi getting a bit of a gearbox check, making sure everything's all sorted. Dino goes out though, turns around. Willem Buerta makes contact with him. So Buerta's going to have a bit of damage. And now side by side between Ryan Ottens and himself, but he is sporting a bit of damage. Ryan Ottens was lucky to avoid it, but Dino Sturman has gone down the order quicker than ever. Unfortunately, the tail snapping out underneath him and lost out the drive. Troy Dolenchik and Yuri Umpi-Swart going blow for blow. Up on the inside, the two of them going and fighting out. Well, Alexander pulls a 2.1 second gap. The time is running out for these two that are fighting for the championship. They need to finish ahead of one another if they're willing to get the championship. So you have to finish ahead of your competitor to maintain the points. That will work out. Troy Dolenchik going and doing everything he can to defend against Yuri Umpi-Swart. Yuri going up on the inside, under braking, gets it all hooked in. Going to try and run him to the fringes of the circuit. Troy Dolenchik, though, more than happy to go a little bit on the curb. But Jan Ferree now back into the fray of things, and that is our top three in the championship. Now within 0.2, 0.3 of a second of one another. Yuri Umpi-Swart carrying little momentum, and that allowed Jan Ferree to get right onto the back of Yuri Umpi-Swart. Troy Dolenchik getting it all out of shape. And now Luke Lucchesi coming into the fray of things. And Luke Lucchesi, who at one point was fighting it out for the championship, keeping an eye out on the drivers ahead of him, saying, right, what do I need to do to go and make this work? All the drivers figuring out what is going to be the move, what needs to be done, as second and third in the second and third overall are now fighting out first and second in the championship. Jan Ferree currently third in the championship, needs to stay within earshot of them. We'll have Luke Lucchesi battling out. So out in front, our international contingent doing a fantastic job. Unfortunately, a couple of retirements coming into play, and our drivers having to figure out what's going to work for them, how they're going to close down the gaps. Timothy Stanton leads out our Pro-Ams, and he is the leader of our Pro-Am Championship. Brandon Robert currently in 2nd place, but Cameron de Bastos in 3rd place will be going and smiling ear to ear. And Jaco Krobler gaining a bit of time with him as well. So good to see it there. But Yurian Pissoir, Troy Dolanchik now starting to drop back on one another. Jan Free going to get back into the fray of things with Luke Lucchesi. So Troy Dolanchik is feeling it a little bit in straight line speed, it seems. And it's starting to hamper the performance a bit, and seeing the championship slowly fleeting as we are currently on Heat 1 of our SA Lube F4 Championship. And this is our final round of the championship. We've got 2 heats this evening. Jan Farid, big send on the inside. Can he make it all work? Troy Dolanchik cannot afford to lose any more positions if he wishes to stay within the championship fight, heading into Heat 2 coming up later tonight. But Jan Farid has all to gain at the moment, closing down a monstrous distance. Looks up on the inside, gets a pass. Luke Lucchesi coming side by side with Troy Dolanchik and gets it all hooked in as well. Tries to go past him. Luke Lucchesi, though, backs off the throttle. Couldn't go and jump the curb all too much this time around. Ryan Ottens down, keeping within earshot of him, will be closing down Willem Buerter, who's sporting a bit of damage after Dino Sternman having a bit of loss of control. Moving down to our first of our Pro-Ams, Timothy Stanton doing a phenomenal job at the moment with Sean Webber trying to get onto the back of him, and him and Artie Nachel going blow for blow. Artie Nachel currently lying 6th in the championship. Sean Webber a little bit further down in the championship. He's in 13th, but trying to score some valuable points. Noah Hendricks going and towing along Brandon Roberts at the moment. Brandon trying to go a little bit later on the brakes, being one of his new runs out in the F4, so good to see him going and pushing as hard as he can with Cameron de Bastos right onto the back of him as well. So our drivers trying to make up a bit of time. Cameron currently lying in 2nd, will have to work out. Oh, and he loses it. Cameron de Bastos going and losing it. Will be kicking himself right and royally at the moment. That is not ideal for his run. Rolf Tillman also getting out of shape. Alexander out in front. Yurian Pissoir in 2nd place. Side by side, though, Jan Free and Troy Dolanchik, along with Luke Lucchesi coming into the fray of things. And Ryan Ottens now getting into the fight as well. So we're going 4 cars between our pros, lying currently 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th position. Ryan Ottens has finally gotten closing up on the championship with Luke Lucchesi just ahead of him. Jan Farid trying to go around the outside of Troy Dolanchik. But this is now becoming dependent on who is going to be able to brake later for the corner, where you're positioning yourself. Oh, Jan Farid's out. Luke Lucchesi goes into him. Ryan Ottens and Troy Dolanchik get away. Willem Buerter saying, oh, thank heavens, I'm not part of that carnage. And now gets on the gas. He gets side by side with Ryan Ottens. But that throws the likes of Jan Farid out of the running for the championship. He will be losing out a lot of time and will need massive, massive repair work on the car. So while getting towed to the pits, that puts to bed on where his championship fight lies, because Ryan Ottens has an opportunity to usurp him in the points if he can keep it going and take 3rd place in the championship. So the Alpha 1 Esports has all on the line to fight it out and needs to gain a bit of time here. Willem Buerter trying to figure out what's going to work for him. Timothy Stanton, first of our Pro-Ams, keeping a good pace over 7th and 8th place of Sean Webber and Artie Nachel. Luke Lucchesi back into the fray of things along with Noah Hendricks. Brandon Roberts also on his debut, not his debut outing, but on one of his outings. We haven't seen him out racing too often, going and having a bit of fun. And Luke Lucchesi sporting that damage allows Noah Hendricks to get by. Nico Killerman in 12th position, along with Jan Ferree trying to make up some time. Cameron de Bastos, though, losing out time. He's in 3rd place at the moment, making critical mistakes. He needs to try and dial it back a little bit, as he's got Jaco Krobler gaining a bit of time on him. Vasil Vermaat's doing a phenomenal job for the Autosport of Ukraine. So good to see him having a monster fun. Questions being asked out in the grandstands. There's a lot of support for the drivers rolling in. And is this a Nurburg GP? This is the Nurburg GP Strecke circuit. So good to be out here for the final round of the SA Lube F4 Championship Season 3. This is our Heat 1 of 2. But time running out will go and point out who is going to gain the valuable time, valuable points, and who will be walking away the SA Lube F4 Cup Season 3 champion for 2024. And at the moment, Alexander, who has done a phenomenal drive, kept his nose out of trouble, has got Yuri Piswat gaining a little bit of time on him. Ryan Ottens put himself into 3rd place, so this is valuable points on the cards for him. But not so luck goes to Troy Dolenchik. Remember, he's only 275 points, where Yuri Piswat, who's lying in 2nd place, is on 262 points. And as the scoring goes, 1st place will get 50 points, 2nd 43 points, 3rd place 38 points, 4th place 35 points, and 5th place 32 points. So for the standings, this is not ideal situation for him. Final lap though, as our drivers make their way through. Alexander going and hitting the time cap, trying to hold 1st place ahead of Yuri Piswat, who's getting a little bit out of shape with the internet connection, trying to claw his way back into the fray of things. But Alexander going to be smiling ear to ear if he can get this all checked in. Last lap time, though, wasn't as fast as Yuri Piswat, who set the fastest lap time of the race, 1:57.8 over the Alexander's 1:58.77. But with the final corners into the play, is it going to be a send? Will Yuri be able to score 50 points and walk away with the championship? Alexander, though, is going to make life incredibly difficult for Yuri. Looks to go up on the inside, side by side they go. Will it be enough? Will Alexander have enough to straight line it as they come across the line? Alexander takes 1st place. Yuri Piswat in 2nd place. The gap between them, 0.05 of a second. Ryan Ottens takes 3rd place, with Troy Dolenchik in 4th position, followed by Willem Buerta in 5th of our pros. Timothy Stanton will be taking the checker flag for our Pro-Ams and coming 1st for Heat 1 in the Pro-Ams. 6th of our pros, Sean Weber, followed by Artie Naka and Noah Hendricks. Luke Lucchesi a little bit further down the order. Brandon Robert taking 2nd place. Jan Ferree making a bit of time back. He finishes up in 12th. Nico Killerman in 13th. And 14th place, 3rd in class, goes to Cameron de Bastos, with Jaco Krobler right on to the back of him. Vasil Vermaat, Fanny Gravenstein, Jeff Hancock, Rolof Tillerman also coming across the line. Herman Lazarus and Mario Rez still going and making their way through. Bravo, guys. Bravo. Unfortunately, only 2 retirements, and that was Jason Coetzee and Dino Sturman in the running pack. So, as our drivers make their way across the line, we will be moving over to a short intermission for the drivers to get themselves all sorted out, and we'll be regridding. So, we're going to head to a short break. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back, everybody, to round 4, the final round of the SA Lube F4 Championship Season 3, right here at the Nurburgring Grand Prix Circuit Strecke out in Germany. My name is Stephen Koenig, and remember, this is the SA Lube F4 Championship with a monster prize pool of 12,000 Rand on the cards. Let's take a look at our last race results. Just go and give a bit of a recap while we have a bit in the warm-up. Alexander Melsian taking the win for that, followed by Yuri Piswart, Ryan Artens, Troy Dolanchik, Willem Buerter, Sean Weber, along with Artie Nachel, Noah Hendricks, Luke Lekesi, Jan Free, Nico Killerman, Dino Sturman, and Jason Coetzee rounding out our field. Then moving in to our Pro-Ams. Our results there: Timothy Stanton, Brandon Robert, Cameron DeBastos finishing up in third, followed by Jaco Krobler, Vezel Vermaat, Fanny Govenstein, Jeff Hancock, Rolof Tilleman, Herman Lazarus, and Mario Rez rounding out our field. But with that being said, we into Heat 2. This is where it gets exciting, because if we take a look at the championship heading into this race, Troy Dolanchik leading out the championship, 275 points, didn't have a great Heat 1. That will drop him way down. Yuri Swart in second place, Jan Fourie in third, followed by Ryan Artens, Nico Kilman, Luke Lekesi, Jamie Rees, Willem Buerter, Jason Coetzee, Alexander Milskin, Noah Hendricks, Artie Nachel, Sean Weber, Peter Hubert, and the likes of Shilkeldenes going and finishing up in 15th in the championship as it stands. Looking at our Pro-Am championship, also very close heading into this event. Timothy Stanton leading out the charge, followed by Fanny Gravenstein, Doe Gerber. Fanny Gravenstein not having a fantastic run this time around, will be losing valuable points. Doe Gerber in third place, not here, along with Peter van der Spey, unfortunately not here as well. Cameron DeBastos finishing up in third place, but he is fifth in the championship. Vernon Kersop, who is actually practicing for a cycling event. So shout out to Vernon Kersop. Go and look on Back Buddy. He's, if you're wishing to help contribute onto a phenomenal effort that he's doing. So good luck to Vernon Kersop from the broadcasting team right here at RaceFace.Pro. Pierre Cousin in 7th place, Herman Lazarus, Jeff Hancock, Jaco Krobler, Vezel Vermaat, Brandon Roberts, and Mario Rez rounding out our field for our championship. So all on the cards for everyone to move forward, and lots of exciting times going to be had by all our drivers. Warm-up starting to come to a close. Now, what we are going to do, ladies and gentlemen, is we're going to take the top 5 and reverse them. So the top 5 will be reversed, and that's where it's going to get interesting. Because now the opportunity to gain a valuable time for the likes of our top 5 that want to move forward in it, but it also does put Alexander down in 5th place. Yuri Piswart will be starting in 4th place. So this is where we start to look at what's going to be the tactics as we head into the final heat of the SA Lube F4 Cup. Delivering with passion as the motto, 20 years of experience in the field, being the biggest distributor for Castrol products. So good to have SA Lube on board. A big thank you to them. We've got prize pools not only for our drivers this evening, but you guys down in the description can click on the link that goes and takes you to the SA Lube. You can win 300 Rand this week, and in the grand prize this week, at the end of it, we will be giving away 2,000 Rand to one lucky viewer that will be having a bit of fun. So we're looking forward to that. So click on the link down below. We also do have a live timing as well on the pit link. So do keep an eye on that. Right, out in front, Willem Buerter, followed by Troy Dolanchik, Ryan Ottens, Yuri Piswart, and Alexander Milskin in 5th place. As our top 5 reverse, Troy Dolanchik back into the top row. Gonna have to pull away, followed by Timothy Stanton, Sean Weber, Artie Nachel, Noah Hendricks, Luke Lekesi, Brandon Robert, Jan Fourie, Nico Killerman, Cameron DeBastos, Jaco Krobler, Vezel Vermaat, Fanny Gravenstein, Jeff Hancock, Rolof Tilleman, along with Herman Lazarus, Mario Rez, Dino Sturman, and Jason Coetzee, rounding out our field as we look to go green. All eyes go on the South African car of Willem Buerter with Troy Dolanchik sitting on the cusp of losing out the championship. This is it. Game on. Final time. We are going to go green right here for the SA Lube F4. Lights on, lights off, and away we go. Buerta not off to the grandest of starts. Ryan Otten's getting a phenomenal start. Sends it up on the outside towards the grass. Troy Dolenchik going to go late on the brakes to try and keep himself in order. Cuts across the nose of Willem Buerta. Ryan Otten's trying to claw his way back. Yuri Swart going and making his way through. A little bit of carnage happening in the background into turn one. Unfortunately, couple of drivers going wheel to wheel. And we'll try and take a re-look at that to see what exactly that's gone on. But Ryan Otten's going and battling out. Yuri Swart charges up past him. Alexander, who got first place in race one, will be also looking to try and make his way through as they make a bit of time. Sean Webber also getting ahead of Luke Lucchesi. Noah Hendricks getting into the fray of things. Jan Fourie. Timothy Stanton going blow for blow against Brandon Robert now. This is Timothy Stanton's time to shine, to lead out the championship. Brandon Robert looking to score some valuable points for his championship. And Cameron de Bastos on the cusp of jumping up in the Pro-Am order. Dino Sturman, Nico Killerman all going blow for blow. And Artie Narkel followed by Roloff Tillman also making a bit of time. Mario Perez, Herman Lazarus, Vassal Vermaat, and Jeff Hancock, despite saying that he might not be in for Heat 2, he's going to stick it out. And he is going to go racing. So good to see that he's out there. There is Jeff Hancock's 2 broken fingers and all, going and having a bit of fun. Good to have him out on the track. Cameron de Bastos out in a monstrous fight. Will be looking to gain some valuable time on his part. And you can see the concentration as he catches up to Brandon Robert, who gets all out of shape. Dino Sturman getting into the fray of things. Now it's Cameron's chance to go up on the inside of our championship leader of the Pro-Ams. So now Timothy Stanton dropping down the order, won't be smiling on that run. Back up to the running order though. Troy Dolenchik opening up a gap. Ryan Otten's into second place. Alexander Melski, Yuri Swart trying to do everything. Oh, Willem Buerta coming to blows with what looks to be the likes of Jan Fourie into turn one. Everyone trying their luck. Magic Wavern saying how's it. He's keeping an eye on all the action and also some of the competitors he's gone side by side with over the years of racing. Alexander going after Ryan Otten's. This is going to be a blow for blow run on them. But drivers starting to feel the pressure in the running order. And it looks like Troy Dolenchik, if he can win this, there is a possibility that he may take the championship. Possible. Not confirmed. So we'll have to keep a very, very close eye on how that's going to turn out in the running order. Alexander trying to make a bit of time, closing up on Ryan Otten's. This is a fight for second place of our pros. And Yuri Swart, who had a little bit of a rough run in Heat 1, needs to try and get into second place. Yuri Swart's sole fight now is if he finishes in second place, he has a chance to take the championship. That being said, Ryan Otten's has an opportunity for third place. So he is now trying his luck to defend against it. All hinges on Alexander. Alexander was the reason that Troy Dolenchik and Yuri Swart are so close in the championship for Heat 2 of the SA Lube F4 Cup. He is the sole reason that the pressure is on between the drivers. Ryan Otten's has a bit of a problem with Luke Lucchesi looking up on the inside. Jan Fourie sporting a bit of damage as Noah Hendricks, a phenomenal pass, gets past and now has to keep ahead of Dino Sturman going and fighting his way through along with Sean Webber onto the back of him. Late on the brakes, doing everything he can in the Rothman colours, taking on the Ferrari colours of Dino Sturman, who's not hanging around. prize money is on the line, Luca Sturman. So if you're friends with a couple of drivers, which I know you are, they got to get you a few drinks as well. A bit of a chocolate milkshake to keep you running. But out in front, Cameron Bastos leading out our Pro-Ams with Mario Rez in second place. Willem Buerta, Brandon Robert down in third of our Pro-Ams with Roloff Tillman. Herman Lazarus a little bit further down, fifth. Vasil Vermaat and Timothy Stanton all the way down into seventh position. Not going to hurt his championship too much, but definitely will hurt the confidence going forward. Late on the brakes though, Yuri Swart keeping ahead of a four-car train of Alexander, along with Ryan Ottens and Luke Lucchese going and fighting it out between one another. Jeff Hancock's looks like he has unfortunately retired the car, having a bit of a problem. And we'll be keeping an eye on the rest of the field. Oh, Ryan Ottens having a little bit of a giddy up and go from Luke Lucchese under braking. So he's having to dig a little bit deep on this one if he wishes to gain some valuable time on our drivers ahead. So Yuri Swart still keeping a consistent gap ahead of Alexander. This is where he needs to be, prime positioning for him to keep going. But they are catching up to Fani Gravenstein and Jaco Krobler, who will be making a bit of a close. And Jason could see, unfortunately, retiring along with Jeff Hancock's. So Fani Gravenstein just had Troy Dolanchik come by, and he's going to have a monstrous field coming at him as well. So he'll be keeping a very close eye on the mirrors, but that can also change up the championships. Fani Gravenstein running second in the championship running of our Pro-Ams, now way down the order. Ryan Ottens trying to get a little bit more giddy up and go to break away from Luke Lucchese, who closes up the distance. They're hoping to get past Fani as quick as possible. They do so. Fani going and keeping out of the way of all the carnage and saying, look, my fight is not with you guys, but you're more than welcome to pull me along. Jan Ferry also getting a bit of a charge as he moves his way up through the order. Out further down, Mario Rez out in second place, now catching up to Cameron Bastos. He's got Nico Kellerman and Artie Nachel in tow. Cameron Bastos ahead in the running. Doesn't have to fight with Artie Nachel and Nico Kellerman as they're both running in pros. But he knows that Mario Rez is right behind him. Not close in the championship points, but can put a dent in his championship hopes, as Brandon Robert is also looking to close down the difference. So, as our pros caught up behind the Pro-Ams, they can also go and swing things in the favor of drivers. Mario Rez, unfortunately, disappearing out of existence. Willem Buerta having to think what he can do. Oh, contact between Willem Buerta, Artie Nachel, and that also looks to be Mario Rez getting into a bit of a carnage run there. That drops him down the order. Brandon Robert more than happy to take that second place. And that does take the pressure off Cameron Bastos and Nico Kellerman as they carry on their run. Troy Dolanchik, though, checking out from the fight, 3 seconds to Yuri Swart, who's got Alexander still putting a fair amount of pressure. Everyone having to dig deep on the run here. Everyone has an opportunity to gain a bit of time. Mario Rez and Vasil Vermaat pulling into the pits, getting themselves sorted out. Ryan Ottens, who has said he's out of the box for ACC, Assetto Corsa Competizione, trying his hand out in iRacing, has now got a chance to put himself onto a championship spot in the pro division. He's running 4th in the championship. Luke Lucchese looking to make a ding in that one, as Johan Ferry, who is behind them, is running 3rd in the championship, but had a rough run in Heat 1. So Ryan Ottens needs to finish ahead of Jan Ferry if he wishes to take 3rd place away right in the last race of the season, ladies and gentlemen. This is how close it has come down for our pros and pro-ams. 1st and 2nd, Troy Dolanchik and Yuri Swart, very close in points, can change the tide of things. We'll do a bit of quick math at the end of this race to see who will be where, but that is unofficial of who is where. We do have our official points that will come out and be announced by SA Lube. Big thank you to them, and also to the likes of RaceFace.Pro. So keep an eye out on the social media for that. Monstrous run at the moment. Troy Dolanchik doing everything he can. Yurian Piswat watching his mirrors constantly with Alexander Malkinson right behind him. Luke Lucchesi getting ahead of Ryan Ottens. This is critical for Ryan Ottens. He needs to actually get ahead of Luke Lucchesi. At all costs, he has to finish in 4th place. Alpha 1 Esports needs to keep ahead of RDSA Esports. So RDSA looking to run. Jan Ferree, who is our champion of the Clio Cup, now in the F4, is standing on the knife's edge of losing the top 3 of the F4s come the final round of the race. Dino Sturman out there on the circuit with Sean Webber. Noah Hendricks getting into the fight, along with Nico Killerman way down the order. He's got Cameron de Bastos right onto the back of him. Cameron de Bastos, also a driver that is on the precipice of moving into the top 3. He has to finish in 1st place. Brandon Robert looking to put a ding in that run as quick as he can. Willem Buerta, Artie Narkel, they are now back up and going. Herman Lazarus is also another driver in our Pro-Am we have to go and mention. He is currently running in 8th in the championship. He needs to finish ahead of Jaco Krobler and Jeff Hancock. He's doing so ahead of Jeff Hancock, who has gone and got himself sorted out. So he is a little bit further down the order, but Jaco Krobler is trying to close down the distance to him, and Jaco Krobler has an opportunity here that can make a bit of time. Yuri Swart still feeling the pressure. Our top runners needing to push that little bit extra. Luke Lucchesi, Ryan Ottens, and Johan Ferree all running nose to tail on one another. Needs to figure out what they're going to do. Ryan Ottens needs to do a monster of Ascendio. Mario Rez into the pits. Dino Sturman into the pits as well. Looks like Dino Sturman actually having a bit of a problem. Let's see if we can go and take a look at what happens here. Here is Dino Sturman. Oh, tank slapper, lock up, bringing it back, sort of, coming back, sort of, brings it. Okay, all in check. Moves across and retires the car. So Dino Sturman retiring the vehicle. Looks like something went on. Unfortunately, that is out. We'll hear from Lucas Sturman. So Lucas Sturman will hopefully be able to give us a bit of insight of what happened to Dino out on the circuit. Yuri Piswat, Alexander going and fighting out with one another. Drivers digging deep that extra little bit more. Luke Lucchesi keeping ahead of Ryan Ottens, who needs to finish ahead of Luke Lucchesi, as Jan Ferree now closing down the distance. Jan Ferree, if he can get ahead of Ryan Ottens, he will be able to try and hold on to the championship points. But that is if he can get past Ryan Ottens. Not going to be an easy feat. All the drivers know the championship up for grabs is on the line. Jaco Krobler, feeling the pressure, has got the likes of Luke Lucchesi onto the back of him. Not wanting to lose too much time. Does a slight lift off, goes wide, allows the drivers to go through, keeping it nice and clean in the old school F1 colours, the Canon colours. As he has Youngblood coming after him. Luke Lucchesi trying his luck at the moment to maintain positioning. A little bit further back, having a bit of battle. Cameron de Bastos, Nico Kilman, and Brandon Roberts trying to close down on it. But Jeff Hancock's going up on the inside of Cameron de Bastos, very close to the rear wheel. Got caught out under braking. And Nico Kilman getting past. I do want to give a shout out to both Cameron and to Jeff Hancock, both of them going and having the video streams. Big shout out to them. And shout out to Jeff Hancock, still driving at this point. Takes a look across into his mirrors. You can see using the triple screens, trying to isolate where Brandon Robert is, not to get too involved into an issue. Does go side by side, gives him a little bit of pressure. I know that the two of them were chatting a little bit earlier. of how the race is going to go. And Brandon's saying, look, I'm not going to let him past. It's going to be a hard-fought fight between them. Sean Webber running into a bit of an incident. Let's take a look what happened to him. I think the tail snapping out. He is running 8th place at the moment. I think, unfortunately, there's a tank slapper. And getting himself going. Noah Hendricks getting past him. And losing out the position there. So having to try and do a bit of a recovery. Beautiful pirouette, though. Well done to his running. Luke Lucchesi, Ryan Ottens, and Johan Fourie on top of one another. As I said, championship fight is make or break at this point. Ryan Ottens needs to finish ahead of Luke Lucchesi and Johan Fourie if he wishes to walk into the championship smiling for that 3rd place. He does so, getting past the likes of Luke Lucchesi. Luke's going to try and do a bit of a cutback. Johan Fourie's coming back at him, though. Going to go late on the brakes, up on the inside. These two had a bit of entanglement earlier. And Luke Lucchesi's gone. Luke Lucchesi spins out and rejoins behind the pack. Johan Fourie now has his eyes firmly set on Ryan Ottens. So Ryan Ottens' gap has just been shortened by quite a bit, with Luke Lucchesi unfortunately getting a little bit of a spin. Our top 3 still into a fight. Alexander trying to gain some valuable time as it looks like Yuri and Piswad going and making small mistakes left, right, and center at this point. So Yuri needs to try and figure out how to get his braking all in check if he wishes to walk away with the championship, if he wishes to usurp Troy Dolenchik, who has won the F4 championship twice so far. Our defending champion, Troy Dolenchik, has the opportunity to lose it all. There may be a new crown going on the head of Yuri Umpi-Swart if he can finish in 2nd place, but he has to finish in 2nd. If he drops to 3rd, game over, lights out. That's all she wrote. And drama, 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 in the immortal words of one of the legendary commentators. Ryan Ottens, Johan Fourie going and battling it out with one another, trying to close down the distance between them. So everyone still putting in a monstrous fight, trying to close down those distances, getting closer and closer towards the end. Time starting to tick over. Jeff Hancock's getting back out on the track, trying to keep himself going. Doesn't want to interfere too much into the championship runnings, but he himself is in a championship fight, so he cannot lose out too much time. And that being said, 2 broken fingers and a lot of painkillers later, he's trying to keep himself going. He's currently lying 9th in the championship. He needs to finish ahead of Herman Lazarus. That is his target to go for. As our race continues on, 2 minutes to go. Troy Dolenchik leading out our pros with Yuri Umpi-Swart, Alexander Milson, Ryan Ottens, Johan Fourie, Luke Lucchesi, Noah Hendricks, Sean Webber, and rounding up for our pros, Nico Killerman in 9th, 10th, Artie Nachel, Willem Buerta in 11th, followed by Dino Sturman and Jason Kutsi. Moving on to our pro-ams, it's Cameron de Bastos, Brandon Roberts, along with Herman Lazarus, Rudolf Tillman, Timothy Stanton, Basil Vermaat, Jaco Krobler, Fonny Gravestein, and Jeff Hancox, followed by Mario Rez, who is unfortunately retired out of the running. Basil Vermaat trying to make up some time. Jeff Hancox losing out a little bit as he is right onto the back of Herman Lazarus, but just is out of reach as he is a lap down after a incident early on in the race. Yuri Umpi-Swart trying to close down the distance to Troy Dolenchik. This is going to be interesting. If Troy Dolenchik cannot get it all together in the next minute and allows Yuri Umpi-Swart to gain that little bit of distance, this may change up the entire championship full stop. Troy Dolenchik will lose out completely on the championship. Alexander still pushing as hard as he can. And Alexander, I've got to point out, has also been in the championship fight for the pros. He is not right at the top of the running as everyone else, but has been putting on a fantastic show. He's in 11th in the championship. Jason Coetzee, Jamie Rees, Luke Lucchese, Willem Buerta, Artie Narkle, Nico Killerman, and Ryan Ottens are the chaps he has to beat. And at the moment, he's doing a fantastic job of doing so. Currently running 3rd place as they come across the line. 10 seconds. This is the final lap of the SA Lube F4 Championship. This is the final round. We will see the checkered flag get thrown out for our drivers. We'll see the checkered flag thrown out and new champions will be crowned. Ultimately, this is nail-biting. Prize money on the line, pride on the line, and also it is about whether you're going to get it all together or not. Ryan Ottens at the moment also clawing away at 3rd place. His first ever podium championship run in iRacing is within arm's reach. But Johan Fourie looking to put the defense on and get into the fight of things. Looking to break that run. So it's all or nothing for him. How is this going to go as they claw their way through? But out in front, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, he may actually retain his championship. It is possible. It is slight. We'll have to do a quick bit of math to work it out. But there is a possibility that Troy Dolenchik will hold on to the championship by very few points over Yuri Swart. If Yuri took the win in Heat 1, it could have made the difference. But Alexander, doing a phenomenal effort, went and put in the fight. So, ladies and gentlemen, coming around the line, take the final checkered flag of the SA Lube F4 Cup for Season 3 goes to Troy Dolenchik of Sujin, followed by Yuri Swart taking 2nd place. Alexander Wilson taking 3rd place. 4th place, beating out Ryan Ottens, goes to Johan Fourie, followed by Ryan Ottens. Luke Lucchese comes across the line with Noor Hendricks finishing up in 7th. 8th going to Sean Webber, who's done a fantastic run there. Cameron Bastos, Brandon Roberts right onto the back of him. Nico Killerman, Artie Knuckle in a 12th position. 13th, Herman Lazarus defending against Willem Buerta. Timothy Stanton's lost out, and it looks like he's had a coming together with Jeff Hancock's. So that has changed up his running. Herman Lazarus comes across the line. Willem Buerta finishing up in 14th. Roloff Tolman along with Timothy Stanton coming across the line, gaining not as many points as he would like, but still taking some points home, and will be taking the championship for our Pro-Am, that's for certain. Vasil Format in a 17th position, all the way out from Ukraine. And Autosports of Ukraine going to be happy with that one. Proper run for him. Jaco Krobler and Fani Gravenstein coming across the line. Jeff Hancock's, Mario Rez, Dino Simon, and Jason Coetzee rounding out our field. What a race. What a championship. And what an amazing time for our SA Lube F4 Cup runners. As Magic Waverin has said, what amazing race. Only on lap 4 was it, truly right onto one of themselves, but it progressed as time went on. And what a time it was here at the Nurburgring, the Strecker circuit, putting on a fantastic show and going and throwing a curveball into the championships once again. So phenomenal run for our pack, and we're waiting for our results of Heat 2 to come out. They will be the unofficial results. Nonetheless, a good run had by all. And we look forward to getting a couple of drivers to come and chat to us in the pack. Once our feature results come up, there we go. We have got our features, our race Heat 2 results. And let's start off with our pros. Troy Dolanchik taking the win over Yuri Swart, Alexander Milson, Jan Free, Ryan Ottens, Luke Lucchesi, Noy Hendrick, Sean Webber, Nico Killerman, Artie Narkel, Philip Buerta, followed by Dino Sturman, Jason Coetzee going and taking the end of the field. Moving on to our Pro-Ams. We have got Cameron de Bastos, Brandon Roberts, Herman Lazarus, Rudolf Tolman, Timothy Stanton, Vasil Vermaat, Jaco Krobler, Fanny Gravenstein, Jeff Hancock, and Mario Rez rounding out our field for our Pro-Ams on a phenomenal time out here at the Nurburgring. What a run by all our drivers for the SA Lube F4 Cup. And while we wait for our drivers to come through to have a chat to us here in the commentary box, I'm going to remind everyone out in the grandstands there is the SA Lube Viewers competition where you can win 300 Rand this week and get you into the entry for the 2,000 Rand Grand Prize that's happening at the end of this week. Brought to you by SA Lube. A big thank you to them. 20 years in the casual distribution. Great to have them on board. Great to see some phenomenal times with them. And I have to say a big thank you to SA Lube partnering up with RaceFace.Pro in this championship and looking to put on a great show. Great season had by all, and can't wait to see what the championships will be looking like at the end of, well, once we have the official. But I do think Yuri Swart may have done enough to usurp the likes of Troy Dolanchik in the run. So while we wait for a couple of guys, we're going to bring in Cameron de Bastos, who came first in Heat 2. Cameron de Bastos, welcome to the commentary box. Glad to have you here, and well done on the running. It looks like you may have done enough to put yourself into the third place spot in the championship, getting first in Heat 2 and moving up into second and third place in Heat 1. How are you feeling with that one, with the racing at hand?
No, well, evening, Stephen. Evening, everybody. Well, Heat 1 didn't get the best qualifying, unfortunately. But, yeah, good launch at least, and which propelled us forward quite hard. And, yeah, from there on, it was just trying to keep it clean. Messed up some couple corners in the first heat. And then from there, just kept on driving. And Heat 2, I got lucky with Timothy getting involved with a battle up ahead and getting taken out. So yeah, it's been a fun race. Hoping maybe for second, but I don't think I would have got a second in the championship, but third I will take it.
It was a phenomenal run out there. Championship incredibly close, and drivers all having to push themselves out of their boundaries. Your take on the championship, looking back at it all and the racing that you've had throughout the championship, the battles that you've had here at SA Lube F4, the championship with season 3 now done and dusted into the books, and walking away from it, just looking back at everything that's come on, missing our first round, coming in second, third, and now into the fourth round, clawing up through the ranks, being up against the best of the best out there on track, like Troy Dolanchik, Yuri Swart, Alexander Melskin. They have been going at each other. Jan Free, Ryan Ottens, Luke Lucchesi, Noy Hendricks. List goes on and on and on. A really stacked field. Taking a look back through it all, what's your thoughts?
A bit sad that I missed, unfortunately, the first round, because then who knows, the championship could have been very close. Now right at the end there, I mean, still close, but it would have been a higher one. But stepping into iRacing and running the F4 for the first time has been actually quite fun. I actually told my teammate right at the end. He was actually very nice enough for me when I spun and he got past me to let me through as he knew his championship points. But I told him, well, ever since joining, I think I finished every time on the podium except for my first race at Okayama. So the possibilities could have been pretty much endless if I had completed that first race, but unfortunately I missed a small little invite, and that messed me up a bit. But it's been a great battle and a great race overall. I really enjoyed it. Looking forward for season 4.
It's going to be an incredible one. While we got you here, we've waiting for others to come in and interview, but I think everyone's times are a little bit caught up. Everyone's working through the points, trying to figure out who, what, when, how did it all go? Anything you would like to say out to the competitors, to all the spectators, the teams, the families, everyone joining in and taking a look? I see Noah Hendricks going, and also keeping an eye out on things. A big shout out to him as well. Good to see you returning, Noah Hendricks, after some time. But your thoughts, and just the ground is yours on a phenomenal championship run. To all our spectators, teams, drivers, sponsors, admin, and stewards have been working around the clock to make this all happen.
Yes, thank you. Well, first of all, thank you for all the spectators out there for being in the chat and encouraging the drivers and just cheering people on there in their respective teams. And then thank you to the racers out there. This championship wouldn't be held without them, and that's a fact there. The racing has been close. It's been good. No crazy driving, and it's been good. It's been good, clean racing, which I really enjoyed. Yes, that's Noah Hendricks saying, "Nice one, Cam." Yeah, me and him actually raced together. We've had our fair share on GT3s in ACC. But yeah, and then thanks to you, Stephen, for having this great commentary and allowing us to showcase our talents out to the public spectators there. And then also, this is a long list. Thank you to SA Lube for sponsoring the series for us, giving us some incentive to enter and run and race as best as we can. And then for I think tonight we can see that I'm running a different livery than I normally did. There's a bit of collaboration between THT and Pandacity there. So thanks for Pandacity sponsor Infiltrate there, and THT for Tasman Cars, Jack Angels, Kyle Army, everybody for allowing me to race in this series and representing the brands. And yeah, really appreciate it. So yeah, thanks everybody, really, and yeah, thanks all the racers.
It's honestly great to have you. I'm doing a little bit of math here just to work out on our pro side of who possibly could have got the championship, because that was also incredibly close. Timothy Stanton taking the Pro-Am championship, so well done to him. And it's honestly a consistent drive. Tonight, a little bit of a contact, unfortunately, at the end did take him out of the fight. But all in all, been a great run on his part. Unfortunately, Doug Herber, who is one of our admins, unfortunately not able to join us this evening, but was on looking, keeping a positive lookout on all the drivers. Losing third place, unfortunately, tonight to the rest of the order, but smiling in taking a look. So he actually sent me a message saying, thank you to all the drivers, thank you to all the spectators on all the tremendous efforts put in. We look forward to seeing you guys joining in the rest of the seasons. Big thank you to SA Lube for being a part of this amazing championship. We're glad to have you around and look forward to the partnership growing more and more in the future as time goes on. Also looking forward to walking away with a third place trophy at some point is the game plan. But tonight was obviously not the night. Keep an eye out as I will be coming back. So that's some words from the likes of Doug Herber, and following a big thank you to the likes of our admin, also to our, not only to our admin, but also to all the stewards working behind the scenes on the story. So, working out the championship points as it stands for our pros. And this is where it gets exciting. I know this is where people have been sitting, waiting. So, did a bit of math for it. And if there is official results that come out, this is unofficial. This is Stephen Terrible Math. And that goes out. Troy Dolanchik would take the championship and become the 3-time champion for the F4 championship and taking the win for the SA Lube F4s, finishing on 360 points. Second place will go to Yuri Umpi-Swart on 348. So the reason that the points dropped was purely on the fact of Yuri Umpi-Swart finished in second place in Heat 1. So congratulations to Troy Dolanchik on becoming the 3-time champion in our pro division for the F4 Championship. And congratulations on that. And congratulations to Timothy Stanton taking the Pro-Am Championship. Mr. Consistency himself managed to keep it all together and winning into that prize pool sponsored by SA Lube. So big shout out to them. Big congratulations to our drivers. And we look forward to seeing you in the future. Enjoy the crowns, enjoy the thrones, as we will be back soon enough. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, that has brought us to the end of our championship. And we're going to be taking a short break during the course of the week. But racing is not over here at RaceFace.Pro. Make sure you tune in on Thursday for the final race of the RaceFace.Pro GT3 Championship. This is going to be phenomenal. And one of the drivers that counted himself out, even his teammate counted him out of the running, will be racing there. And we're looking forward to seeing that as well. But groundbreaking news coming in. Doug Herber saying, in addition to the prize money, there will be trophies on the way to our top 3 drivers in each class. So they will be walking away not only with money in the pocket, but a trophy out on the stand. Unfortunately, Doug Herber being the one to send it away. And I think the 3rd place trophy will be "You Owe Me" written onto whoever got into 3rd place on that one. Monstrous run there. This is going to be bigger and better in the future. Thursday, we've got our final race for our GT3 Championship. Tune in for that. Lots of racing happening here at RaceFace.Pro. On the 31st of March, we have our RaceFace.Pro Mini Enduro. Feel free to come and join in on SimGrid.pro. Look up on SimGrid. Look up RaceFace.Pro and join in. 9th of April, we've got our BMW Z4 Cup that is also starting, utilizing the GT3 Legacy car. Really interesting little car to have a bit of fun. Honestly, when that got put into Legacy and it was replaced with the BMW Z4, I wanted to shoot the entire head office of iRacing at that point because it's such a nice car. Good to see that it's coming back for a Cup race, taking the positioning over our Clio Cup that finished up last week. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, from myself, Stephen Koenig, and the entire RaceFace team, we'd like to say thank you very much to all our spectators, drivers, teams, and everyone tuning in every single week, being a part of it, watching it live and watching it in the future. Within this week, though, please click the link down below and enter the SA Lube Viewers Competition, where you can win 300 Rand. And at the end of this week, we'll be handing away the 2,000 Rand to a lucky viewer. First ever time that we got a cash prize out to the viewers right here at RaceFace.Pro. Big thank you to SA Lube on that one. And we're going to end it off in always the way I like saying it. I'd like to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, everybody. We'll see you out on the 9th of April right here at RaceFace.Pro.